Alright guys, so we're going into our first library sale of the day. And Karin's going to be the scanner du jour. You like that? Scanner of the day?
The Scanner Supreme, to be clear.
Exactly, Scanner Supreme. So I've been to this library before. I did not have my scanner when I went last time. And they've got quite a collection of books here, maybe 1,500, 2,000 books. So I'm thinking we might be able to pull some decent numbers out of here. The prices are great, 25 and 50 cents and maybe up to $1 in some cases, but overall a really good deal.
Can't wait.
All right, see you inside. I love libraries. How about you, Karin?
Yeah.
This is going to be great. Definitely a good price. So the books are really starting to pile up here. Several of these are only $1 each. And we've gone through probably half of the books. Karin's really killing it. Maybe a little more than that. I think we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 so far. So really doing well. And I'm just looking forward to seeing what we get. All right, so we got done with the library. How many scans did you get?
A mazillion, like 800 and something.
844 scans. We found 18 books. We paid a total of $16, so our cost of goods was under $1 a book, which is great because a couple of them were a little more than $1.
Mm-hmm.
That was why it was more.
What do we have? 1 for $4, maybe 2 for $4. That's why it was so much.
There was a couple for $4. A lot of them were like 25 and 50 cents. So not bad at all. And it's funny because I went through and I cherry picked this actual library a couple weeks ago before I had the Bluetooth scanner and only found like 3. So by cherry picking, you definitely don't get as many. Took us about maybe an hour and 10 minutes or so to scan all those. But a nice little library. I like it.
And they were very nice.
Yeah, very nice. They were glad we bought some of their books. They even had boxes in the book room, the book sale room, that you could put items in. So we carried down a box, which was great because trying to carry 18 books is kind of heavy sometimes.
And I'm not sure how much more often we're going to do this together because I'm all about the mission, and apparently I handle books loudly. I mean, come on, you move it a little, you push it back in.
I was like, this is a library.
It wasn't that loud. It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that loud. It wasn't that bad. So.
And I'm just, and this is honestly, though, this is part of my process.
Yep.
If someone's going to complain or if there's going to be an issue with how I do what I do, let me get in trouble and let me work through it. Like you can't, you can't protect me like a parent. You can't keep me from making those mistakes. You have good intention.
Right.
But at some point, it's either going to be okay or it's not. And I have to, duke it out with the librarian or something at some point. You know what I mean? Like right. I have to experience that.
She's gonna fight a librarian, I think, is what I heard from that. So are we gonna head to the next one?
Heck yeah, we are.
All right, we got one more library to go today. We haven't been to this one yet, so I don't know if it'll be as good as this one, but we're excited to go find out.
Yeah, and even if it's not, new places or new experiences, we always chalk it up to education.
Yep.
So especially if it's somewhere where it just doesn't look like it's going to be profitable or advantageous in the future, been there, done that, check it off the list, don't have to make the same mistake again. There
you go. All right, so let's hit it.
Let's do it.
All right, so I think our day, at least our morning of book sourcing is done.
I'd say so.
We ended up not really finding too much more books to source. We went to the library there in the small town near us, and they literally had 0 books for sale. They were a smaller public library, and they just didn't get a lot of them. We also tried to go to a bookstore there in that town, which was not open for another hour. Right.
So it might be a possibility down the road, but we missed it today for sure.
We checked out a retail sort of Christian bookstore, that a religious bookstore that did not. They had some things marked down to 90% off, but it still wasn't quite enough to pull the trigger on them. But we'll keep an eye on that. They could have some items from here from time to time.
Right, and so always trying to make lemonade, whenever we hit a roadblock, like with that one little library, we just literally, we entered thrifts near us or bookstores near us, and that's how we found the other bookstore, how we found, you know, always try to, when you're in a situation where it seems hopeless in the moment, see what else is there.
That's for sure. And we definitely made the best of our time. I mean, we took a risk going out kind of a little ways away from where we live. It wasn't super far, but a little ways, and it paid off partially, and then part of it didn't pay off, and that's just the way it goes. But we learned. We know we don't have to go back to some of those areas. We know which ones will work for us, and that's all part of it. So now I think it's time to eat lunch.
Yeah, let's eat lunch.
All right, guys, so we're gonna eat lunch, and maybe we'll recap some of the day with the finds and sort of profits and so on a little bit later. Hey guys, so one of the things that's tricky about book sourcing is it's hard to remember what you paid for books. So what I decided to do was I decided to make these bins and separate them out by the type of source that I got, and just put some basic prices on them that are always going to be relevant unless I paid something different. So for instance, you can see here I have a sticker that says estate sale, $1 per book unless noted, yard sale, $1 per book, library, which is $1.50 for softback, and Goodwill, which is $106 and $150 in my area. And I put them on each side of the containers, so that way even if you have the container turned around, you can still see how much it was. So the idea is when I source books each week, I will put them in these bins by where I got them, and so I already know what I paid for them. And if I need another bin, like if I need another Goodwill bin, for instance, I'll just create one of my handy dandy extra bins I've got here. The labels I printed off on the DYMO 450 turbo printer, so just really simple. And you could print it on there whatever you wanted. If you wanted to put dates on there, you could. And if you have a book that you paid more for, like I had this one I paid more for at the yard sale, I put in there $3. I just tore off a piece of paper, stuck it in there. I did pay a little bit more for that particular book. But overall, I think this system will work. It'll keep you nice and organized. Obviously, it works better if you've got a big vehicle, like I do, like a van where you can space all these out. But even if you had bags, for instance, like I've got that green bag over there, you could do it with the bags as well. It would work with a lot of different systems. So just an idea if you guys are having trouble keeping track of where you got your books and what you paid for them. Okay, everyone, let me share with you some numbers I've had since I started this at the beginning of May. I obviously did not get a scanner until about the second full week of May, actually almost in the third week. So I wasn't scanning quite as many. I scanned some books I had from home and so on. But I created a spreadsheet to sort of keep track of everything on a daily basis. You can see here each day has a row, and I'll just put in there how many scans I did, and then what I was able to source and how much I spent, how many got shipped off, if I did ship off that day, the average sales rank, the valuation of that shipment, the cost, the estimated fees, and the estimated net profit per shipment. This is all coming from Accelerlist, which is a program which allows you to put in your inventory and create inventory shipments for Amazon. I'm also going to keep track of daily solds over here on each day too, and how much they sold for. So there may be other things that I track with this, but this is just a good start. And then here at the top, you're going to see some summations and averages. So since the month started, I've scanned a total of 3,659 books. This is a little off here or there because of, messing around with the scanner, getting the software to work correctly, but it's pretty close. I've sourced 165, which is a 4.5% accept rate, which is right around the rate that seems to be the industry standard of 3 to 5%. I spent $263 on those books for an average cost of $160. I've sent in 123 to FBA because I still have some to go. I've got, on average, I'm sending 31 per shipment, so I really want to push that up to like 100. It's kind of my objective. The average sales rank has been 588,000, which is okay. I think total valuation of those books is about $2,000 with an average valuation of a shipment at $501. Total cost, $186.59. The average cost, $46.65. And total fees and estimated profit and so on. These are estimates right through here, guys, based on what Accelerlist is telling me. So, they're not 100% accurate, but they're going to be close. And it's going to depend on how long books set and so on. My average profit per book, this is an important number, $6.75 right now. That's after my cost of goods and after the fees and so on. So that's a number you can take. And as I do this more and more, I think this number is going to get to mean more and more. It's going to become more and more real. It'll be something I can really rely on, and I can say, all right, this is what I'm netting after all the expenses and so on. So if I want to hire somebody to scout books for me, I know that their pay needs to come out of that and so on. So far, I've sold 4 books, so I've got off to, I don't know if that's a good start or not. I really didn't have any books to sell until about the 8th or 9th of May. So I guess I've only really had a couple weeks, not even 2 weeks of sales yet. I did sell one higher price textbook, which is why you see this average sales $46.49. I don't anticipate that to be my standard average sale amount. I think it'll be much lower than that, but it's good when you can sell those higher ones because they push up that average. So I'm just going to track each day what I've done and kind of get an idea about, I want to know accept rate because that'll tell me if I scan X, I will get Y number of books. I want to know what my average cost is going to be. That way I can kind of figure out how much capital I have to spend each month. I also, of course, want to know my average profit per book after everything because that's going to tell me how much I'm making per book. So how many, if I send in this many books, I should profit around this much. I have another tab I've started here. This is just the beginning of my workbook. And this one is estimated sourcing polls. And basically what it does is it tries to figure out, given what my profit per book is right now, which is $6.75, it's pulling that from the other tab, that if I scan 1,000 books and get a 1% acceptance rate, which is 10 books, I should average about this much profit. And so on down the list. So you can see here all the way at the end, if you were averaging 10,000 books a week at a $6.75 profit per book amount, and let's say you were getting 3%, which would be 300 books, your estimated profit would be about $2,024 on that. I just want to have this as a reference in the back of my mind. I don't know exactly what my percentage will be, like what will my acceptance rate. I don't think it'll be higher than 5. I would love it if it was, but I really don't think it'll be that in the long run. I think it'll be probably more like 3 to 5. So it'll probably be somewhere in these columns, but I had these here just in case it was much lower. I would still sort of know where I was at with everything. But just a good way to kind of keep track of what might happen. So that's where I'm at, guys. I'm trying to be 100% transparent. 3,600 books so far this week. I don't really have a scan total for this week. I have more of an acceptance rate total I want to hit for this week. So far, the week started on Saturday. We have 15, 9, and 18, which is a total of 42, which is, I think, a decent start to the week. Obviously, I've got to get some more scans in to pump that up because that is only a total of 1,600 scans. So if I could triple that or not quite triple that, I should hit my 100 per week total, which is what I'm aiming for. And of course, Friday will be my ship date. All right, guys, so if you got any questions about any of that, leave me a question or comment down below this video. And, like I said, I am just starting this book selling adventure. You're going to need to come along, and we'll just see where it goes from here. And again, hit me up with any questions, and don't forget to subscribe or hit that like button. Thanks, and see you real soon.